My son said I didn't understand investments. He said it calmly, like he was educating me. Like I was behind. I worked 38 years in municipal finance. I processed city budgets, survived recessions, and managed funds larger than most people earn in a lifetime. But after my husband passed, my son began speaking to me differently. He asked detailed questions about my portfolio, my liquidity, my house, my estate structure. Not casual questions, strategic ones. He offered to modernize my accounts. He asked to monitor them for safety. He said I was being too conservative. I said I preferred stability. He called it fear. A week later, my advisor informed me my son had requested restructuring meetings. It told Temidi, been confused lately. Confuse? That word again. Shortly after, I received notice of a petition for conservatorship. He claimed I was financially declining and unable to understand modern market conditions. But before the hearing, something arrived in the mail. A refinance disclosure packet. My name printed at the top. Loan amount $412,000. Against my fully paid house. I had not applied for any loan. I called the lender. The application had been submitted digitally. The purpose listed was debt consolidation. A co-applicant was pending addition. The IP address matched my son's company inquiry. I didn't confront him immediately. I gathered records. Instead, public filings revealed a lien against his investment company, high interest, debt accelerating repayment. That's when the pattern became clear. The push for aggressive portfolio changes, the urgency, the conservatorship petition. It wasn't about my growth. It was about his survival. My house was inheritance planning. It was collateral. In court, his attorney described me as rigid and outdated. They presented a brief medical note suggesting mild cognitive hesitation under stress. They called my investment strategy paranoid. When it was my turn, I introduced the refinance packet. I stated calmly that a mortgage application had been filed against my property without my authorization. One presented the lien documentation showing his commercial debt. The courtroom shifted. The judge asked him directly whether he had attempted to refinance his mother's property while petitioning for financial control. He hesitated. That hesitation said everything. He claimed it was exploratory. I explained that the refinanced purpose was debt consolidation, and the debt was not mine. I clarified that the conservatorship petition coincided with his financial distress. The judge's tone changed. She stated that personal financial hardship does not justify removing another adult's autonomy. Petition denied. Outside the courtroom, he accused me of humiliating him. I told him I simply protected what I built. But here is what he never knew. 2 weeks before the first hearing, I had already established an irrevocable trust with an independent fiduciary. The house had been transferred into it quietly and legally. Even if the refinance had somehow moved forward, the asset he was reaching for would not have been available. He believed he was planning ahead. I was planning further. He thought I didn't understand investments. He thought I didn't see leverage. But I understand preservation. I understand risk management. And I understand that the most important asset in any portfolio is control. My son was calculating access I was calculating legacy. And legacy is not something you refinance to rescue someone else's debt. My accounts remain intact. My house remains protected. And my future remains mine.